Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sunday Musicians Café. I'm Pietro, an Italian violinist and founder of this podcast. If some years ago you would tell me that I would interview Daniel Kurganov on the 40th episode of a project I started by myself, I would definitely laugh because I would think you joke me. Daniel is probably one of my idols growing up, and since I discovered one of his video on YouTube, I couldn't stop and help myself. I couldn't really help myself to watch all of them and follow him on his beautiful career. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening because this is a night edition of Sunday Musicians Café. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for following. And let me just quickly explain what is this. It's a podcast. It's a live chat. It's a very small project I started last year by myself, coming from the idea to trying to answer the question, how do musicians make a living, right? And that was a very annoying question for all of us involved in the music industry, and still is. Sometimes we feel like the world doesn't understand that music can be a job. But soon I realized myself that it was a difficult question to answer. And the reality is that everybody is different, and every musician can be different in the music industry, and obviously the way we survive and we make a living can be also different. So this is the idea behind this project, so to show all the different ways of being a musician. And I'm literally over the moon for the guest of today, because Daniel is the incarnation of this concept. Daniel is an extraordinary violinist and a pedagogue, an entrepreneur, and his way of communicating the violin technique and the violin, all the violin repertoire that he looks at is extremely engaging and honestly very, very fresh. You know, like you really feel like a fresh air in the industry. So I'm sure he will tell us more about all of his career and all of his ideas behind all of the projects he's been doing. But in the meanwhile, I would like to ask you, how are you guys? If everything is going well. I guess today was a resting day, as it is Sunday. Do please send any curiosity, drop any message you would like for us to answer as well, any questions you have. If you hear us well, if you see us well, do please send any thumb up or click the heart here below. So I think we are ready to invite him and to have a wonderful chat today about many things, mainly about his story, how he developed his career. That is very interesting in my opinion, and also all the aspect of playing the violin, and I think he will give us a very good insight on which are the undervalued aspects and which are the overvalued maybe aspects of violin playing. So let's invite him and have a chat with Daniel today. Should be able to join in a second. Let's wait 1 second. Also, tell us where you're listening from. It's always very, very interesting to see that people listen from all over the world. Here is 10:30 actually. It's 10:30, yes. Okay.
Hello,
Amazing. We made
Pietro,
this.
come vai?
Wow. You already greeted me in Italian. I'm so excited. I really feel like I'm so honored to have you on this podcast. It's such a honor for all of us,
The
honestly.
honor is mine. Thank you for having me. It's great that
Absolutely.
you're doing this project.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I'm really glad actually that such an icon of the violin playing and of the violin teaching that all of us, for all of us, you are, you know, an example and a very important idol. You know, like
False,
someone to look at. And
false idol, false idol.
maybe false in that sense, but definitely you changed my life in many ways, and I'm so glad that you are on the 40th episode. So today is the 40th,
40th
and I'm really
episode, but I'm still in my 30s. Let me be clear about this.
okay. Okay, you see,
Still in
perfect,
my
perfect.
30s.
I mean, one of the things that, you know, I don't know if you would like to talk about this, but I think it's very inspiring. And you obviously you don't know because you never met me, but I do say to my students, it's never too late to learn and to really use our brain and, you know, to really focus on our practice in a different way. Because I know you started at 16, right?
Yeah, 16 and a half.
No, but this is we should talk about this at least 1 hour.
Boy.
No, I'm kidding,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But how does it feel? I mean, I'm sure you felt judged because this is the world. I mean, we can't lie. I mean, this is the industry. How was the beginning? How was it?
Well, first, cheers.
Nice.
This show is about drinking, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is actually.
This is
I'm sorry, I'm not
Japanese
gonna have
plum
coffee.
wine.
Oh, okay. Well, nice.
Have you ever tried plum wine?
Yes, of course,
Very
but
good.
not Japanese, not Japanese.
Oh, there's other kinds. Yeah, I guess that there could be different. But anyway,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yes, I mean, here I'm having some water because normally I have
Wow.
my espresso, you know, it's like mandatory to have my espresso, but obviously it's 10:30, so I won't be able to sleep at all.
All right. Well, I'll try to put you to sleep.
No, you won't be, you won't be.
So, yeah, I mean, it certainly was a wild ride, and it still is. One very interesting thing is that I started very early recording on paper and on, you know, audio video recording my progress and just kind of ideas and what I was trying, what worked, what didn't work. There was a lot of self-teaching involved just because teachers didn't know exactly what to do with me. Plenty of teachers told me simply not to do it, as you can imagine.
Wow.
You know, when I expressed the desire to kind of go all the way with this, I mean, it didn't come from nothing. I was playing and listening and listening to music all my life. When I was a kid, I played the piano and the guitar, and I was very passionate about it.
Okay.
And then when I turned 16, I really fell in love with classical music in particular. I really started to listen to it just nonstop, everything. And I actually wanted to pick the piano back up very seriously and become a pianist. So that's actually the beginning of that. And it was totally by chance. Violin was totally by chance. I had a teacher, I think it was like the fifth teacher by that point on piano, because they all wanted me to do scales. I just wanted to play Chopin. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's still the case, but I love scales. So I had a teacher that played both violin and piano, and she brought her violin with her to my piano lesson. She would come to the home, and she just had it because she was doing a gig or something on the violin. And one thing led to another, and it's like, hey, let's try the violin. I'd never held this thing. Like, let's try it. It'll be fun. So I tried it, and then she gave me her violin and said, I'm a violinist now.
Wow.
And from then on, we actually switched to violin, because apparently, I actually don't remember that day very well, but apparently I was able to kind of just figure out some fundamental things very quickly. And yeah, maybe playing guitar helped a little bit, just the concept of a fingerboard and like notes go up.
Yes.
So yeah, and then it was so fast. I was just obsessed with the violin. I learned about all the great violinists early on. But back then I had to go to the library and check out CDs.
Yeah.
This was kind of before, I mean, there was already, you know, Napster and MP3s and all that stuff, but I wasn't very well schooled in just like the great recordings. So I went to the library and just got albums and ripped all of them. I still have them on a hard drive somewhere. Yeah. And really it's that obsession and that admiration of these giants whose shoulders we stand on that taught me everything and continued to teach me as YouTube became a big thing that just made it easier to obsess over all of these things. And yeah, I mean, without that, I don't know where I would be. So maybe that's something I'd love to talk to you about and get your view on, is just maybe later on of how our interaction with recording, you know, there's a taboo against like listening and copying.
Yes.
And you know, there's a lot of interesting stuff to discuss there. But anyway, yeah, that's how I started. And you correctly pointed out there was some adversity and people told me to not do it. But gradually, fewer and fewer people told me not to do it. Now they keep telling me to do it, so I have to keep going.
Now you should stop because they tell you to continue.
Stop while I'm ahead.
Yeah, definitely. You know what you're doing, because I mean, when you have so many people, even silently judging, I guess, because it's not everybody would tell you, please stop, no, but you know they judge you. You know, they.
I'll give you $1 for $1 for requests, $2 to stop. Yeah.
That would be a nice way of stopping, quitting. But
honestly,
I mean,
I didn't even pay attention to so many of these. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like just obsessed with playing. I'd just play all day, and my teacher was supportive. For you know, I found a very like well-known violinist like just a year after starting. So I had half a year to prepare for conservatory. I mean, it was just like I had no idea about anything. I just like really loved the violin. So the negativity actually started later, I think, more like during school. But before that, it was just I was so oblivious.
You were in love, like in a relationship. You were completely in love with the violin. I guess so. But you touched a very interesting point, which is the fact that you know, a very important role in every violinist life, I think, is the recording of icons of the violin. So people that actually we admire and we are, you know, we really you know, we really respect, or in a way we are really struck by them, you know, like Heifetz, Daniel. I remember that I think one of the first video you upload was about oh my days, not Heifetz, sorry, now the first violin of New York film,
David
Nadian, correct, yes. I think you went viral with that because nobody knew him before you.
Yes, I've been propagandizing his name for a while, and with some success.
Thank you, thank you so much, because we were everybody in the world was like, but why we never heard about this guy? It's incredible recording. I still listen to that. It's an antidepressant, natural antidepressant to me.
That's a good way of putting it.
Honestly,
I mean, you probably heard his. Have you heard his album of short pieces?
Yes, of course.
It's very inspiring. Very inspiring playing. Yeah, I mean, for a very, very long time, and to some extent still, I collect these kinds of people. I seek them out, people who have something special to say, but maybe didn't make it for one reason or another into as a household name. And that's how my channel started. I started just because I was so obsessed with recordings. I would collect things. I went to archives. I had friends in like different countries and archives. And so I'd post things on YouTube. And for the first 10, you know, however long years, I was doing that. And then finally I started posting my own playing, just, you know, because I thought that was the right thing to do. But every so often I still discover somebody, like my most recent discovery Have you heard of Oleg Pokonovsky?
No.
No, but you will.
Please do send us. Do publish
Yeah.
it, upload
No,
it.
no, you have to. You have to. I mean, this man is just—he's an absolute genius. He's like 50 years old.
Mm.
He's not old and dead. He's very much alive, and he lives in Manitoba, Canada. You know, the music capital of the world.
No, not really.
That's right.
Okay.
And I mean, it's hard to describe him, but he's a total genius. He also writes transcriptions. He transcribed all the Chopin nocturnes for violin, piano.
Wow.
He transcribed like crazy things. He's one of, speaking of David Nadian, maybe him and Nadian, and maybe that's about it. People that really understood the Heifetz aesthetic.
Yes.
Could actually do it without sounding just like they're copying or something like that.
Yes.
I mean, Pokonovsky is like further than anybody.
Did you meet him? Did you meet him yet?
We haven't met. We talk very frequently.
Okay.
It's hard to get to Manitoba. You know, you can't just take the bus.
No.
But I invited him to Tone Base, where I worked with Tone Base, and I did a live stream with him, and he's very special. So like there are all these people that are so inspiring and not necessarily famous, and I value that.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, one of my discovery when I was a teenager, and I was really proud of it, it was Yuval Yaron. I don't know if you... Yes.
Yeah,
but 10 years ago, it was not that famous. It was like, nobody knew him in the conservatories. I mean, all the people I was speaking to, they were talking to, they were like, I don't know this guy. And I know for fact that he recorded all the 6 sonatas by Isaïe in 2 days. In 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are people, that was in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays we have...
In the 50s, it would, you didn't have enough tape. You have to just make do.
That's why. Man, I love your sense of humor. It's incredible. You should make more jokes in your videos.
People have told me that. It's hard because, like, it's hard.
No.
Because I'm planning out the video. I'm planning it out very specifically. It's like, you can't plan humor, and to the extent that I have any, it's certainly not making it into those videos, but I'll do my best. I'm kidding. More live streams on my channel. I did one live stream, and I want to do more of that. So it's fun. But
this is your first live stream, I guess.
No, I've done many live streams with guests that I've invited on Tone Base. I used to do that quite a bit, and I did one on my channel with Julia Bushkova.
Okay.
But I've never done one on Instagram, so this is my first Instagram.
Tell us about Tone Base. I'm very curious because your entrepreneurial side obviously is massive. I mean, we can talk about that for hours. But Tone Base is a very good and interesting one, and very recent, I would say, as well.
My friend Emma is here. I can see who's joined.
Emma.
We're in studying with Sergei Krylov in a summer festival a long time ago.
I just played with her now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at the gig now, very quickly. I came back from work with Emma. She said hi say hi. Amazing.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She's very nice,
Tone Base. I mean, I didn't start Tone Base. It was started in 2019 by a couple of classical guitarists, actually. Okay. And so that was the first platform. Then it expanded to piano, and then violin, and now 10 other instruments and counting.
But I saw now you're working for them.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. So I lead all of the East Coast productions, and I'm also leading one of our new efforts, which is internationalization. So we are translating all captions of all videos.
Wow.
And translating the whole website, everything into different languages. So it's kind of a big project that I'm leading there. And yeah, it's fun. I mean, I get to work with very interesting violinists, sometimes ones that I really like.
That's it. Your humor is killing me, honestly. You're fantastic. Cheers. But listen, I mean, before Tone Base, you you did a lot of other projects, including obviously the YouTube channel. I mean, your YouTube channel is a massive effort. And tell us, how did you start all of that idea of teaching through, giving master classes on YouTube? You were one of the first one. I believe you were one of the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I love to teach just in principle because, as I mentioned, I remember just a lot about my own progress and what worked and what didn't. And I feel I have an understanding of a particular way of doing things with some flexibility. I don't understand every way of doing things, obviously. Like if someone comes with like old Russian bow hold, like I can't, I know some things about it, but it's, I don't have any sort of experience with that. So there are things, obviously. But in any case, I love to teach, and I love to, I learn a lot when I teach, and I write a lot about pedagogy, and some of it makes it into YouTube. And that started in 2019. Before the pandemic, I ran a masterclass in Boston for like a small group of violinists that came from all over the world, and we did like an intensive for 2 weeks. It was like a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And so I just made some, educational videos to kind of promote the masterclass. And then COVID hit right after that, and I got a good response to those videos. So I thought maybe it's time to do it properly. And yeah, I'm actually working on an edit for one right now. Every time I do one, it's the biggest one I've ever done. So like, they're just keep getting out of control. So this one's going to be like 3 hours long. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Fully edited, like with all the fat trimmed. Wow. It's going to be ridiculous. And it's going to be how to practice difficult passages.
Nice. But is there, are you alone on this, or you have editors? You are alone. Yeah. Okay. I learned. I do a lot of audio video engineering. I have been for many years. So it was, when I started this, it's something I really wanted to try to do. Like, can I have, and I didn't see that really in YouTube, like good playing, good teaching, good production, like all those three things. That's what I'm aiming towards. And I'm actually very happy when I see other people doing it. I really don't believe in this zero-sum mentality in the classical music world. It's ridiculous. And I love to browse YouTube and find channels with like 10 subscribers, but like, they're doing something and good, good content. And I try to throw my people that way if I can. Yes. It's absolutely right. And I agree with you. I think this is an important topic that I would like to discuss with you, which is the importance of technology and the digitalization of the learning process. Yeah. So you said yourself, you started learning very self-taught through videos on YouTube as well. But nowadays, even more, I think, is the possibility out there to actually learn and to collect information and try out all the various technique and suggestions that teachers are suggesting, obviously. But obviously there is a negative side of it, which is the amount of information is too much, obviously.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's overwhelming. And I know that people struggle a lot to decide which is the right thing for them, right? So what do you think about this? Should we learn through the digital world or not?
Yeah, I think calling me self-taught is an exaggeration to some degree. I had a teacher, obviously. I feel like the self-taught element of it was when it's actually something I really developed after I stopped having a regular teacher. And I went back to the fundamentals, and this is something I stress with my students, and I say it in master classes and on YouTube. Like, you think you're done with the Kreutzer etudes, you're not done. Or Kreutzer is not a great example because they're boring. But like Rode etudes. Yeah, that's the best, of course. but there's also like very, very like much simpler ones that are nice. And in any case, just it doesn't really matter. It could be anything, but you know, you think you understand sound production, you think you understand, and you know, I'm trying to understand it, and the more I understand, the more I realize it's like, okay, I can go even deeper into the fundamentals, such that I feel like I'm ready for anything, and I'm able to diagnose my own issues better.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. The more I focused on fundamentals, like how does sound production actually work? Like, yes, we've heard of like pressure and this and that, like, but there's a lot more. I'm actually building a whole course on right-hand technique. The working title is "Everything You Know About Right-Hand Technique Is Wrong."
I love it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm the first one on the list, please.
Yeah. I'm number 2. So, yeah, no, because I just believe in it so much. And after school, and I was using my talent, you know, to play, and it turned out my foundation was just not good. After I finished my master's, I just stopped doing everything and just practiced and did all of the etudes again, all the Sevchik, all the Kreutzer, and you know, things I skipped. Obviously, I skipped so many things because I started late. I had to choose. And I went back all that and reconsidered just the very, very basics, and also just deeper analysis of people, you know, great violinists. And so I'm a big believer in that. So in all knowledge, I think, is self-taught. I think we're all self-taught. I mean, somebody can push us in the right direction and give us resource, because there's no more resource problem, kind of, right? Because of online, you can kind of see everything you need to see. Of course, having someone react to your specific playing, that's an invaluable thing, and that cannot be replaced by any number of YouTube videos. So that's really everything except for that. I think we've pretty much solved. We've solved inspiration. Like I rarely go to live concerts. I'll be honest with you. It's like, because
me neither. I go very rarely, actually.
I mean, partly it's just because, you know, we're busy, but also busy, it's like, unless it's somebody I admire.
That's true. Yes, I agree.
I could go and I support my friends. I admire some of my friends too, but like I get so inspired by this intimate. I like sitting close, first of all. And that's not easy to do sometimes in certain big halls. Like I don't understand this philosophy of play to the 100th row. It's like, no, I don't care. I want to sit next to you, and I want to hear the detail. I want to hear the nuance. And when you tell someone to play to the 100th row, that means, okay, well, they're not going to hear the nuance. So like, let's change our priorities here. We need to project. We need, you know, and a lot of violin playing has turned into that. You know, to some degree, there's this philosophy has become very prevalent. So I love recording for that reason, because it's so close to the microphone, and you
can hear.
And I like that. I think it's more pedagogical. Anyway,
but no. This is interesting. Actually, I didn't expect this. I didn't see this coming, because the reality is that the concert halls are big.
I like smaller halls.
Yes, but also if you come to Wigmore Hall in London, I don't know if you've ever been.
I've never been.
I mean, it's small. I think in maximum is 500 people. Yeah. But with the gallery as well. I mean, it's small. It's chamber music stage, not possible to have. So it's but still, I mean, at the back you can't hear the nuances. So I don't know, where do we sit in? I mean, in a way, we have to deliver a product to sell the ticket, right? So the problem is that you don't like classical music to be on the market. No, you like that.
I mean, as long as it's not hurting the quality of the product, but I think there is always a trade-off.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm a bit of a purist. And
interesting.
I mean, this is my musical upbringing, is like listening to Heifetz and Chrysler and like.
Yes, I understand.
Although I I did hear from many people that heard Heifetz live, like you could sit in the middle of the hall and the magic comes through. I'm sure that's true. But I know there are certain things in the lower dynamics that are just not the same if you're far away.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
don't know, but some people, no, but it's interesting. I
yeah.
think it is interesting. I think it's the reality of because when we practice at home, I mean, you might have the problem of realizing which kind of sound you're producing in visualizing the whole you're gonna play. So this might be a problem because then you realize, oh, I'm playing too soft.
Yes.
Nobody is gonna hear this. So I have to switch my mentality to another. You know, if I play, and you recorded the Brahms sonatas. By the way, I love them. I absolutely love them. Yes, with the historical instruments.
With the painful instruments, yes.
How is it to play on that?
Well, when you have to tune a piano every 40 minutes during a recording session, it's fun.
It's so boring.
And then when you're done tuning it, the E string pops. So it's just a comedy. It's just a comedy.
Fantastic.
I feel like
it
would have gotten more views if I didn't cut any of that out.
That
was like in the actual recording, in the CD recording, I have the string popping and we stop to like, I don't know, like it's authentic. Come on.
Oh, but you should post the bloopers. It's fantastic.
No, I mean like no blooper, like put it into the actual thing.
No. Selling it with the pop.
Well, no, you know, being authentic is very popular right now. So I think I could go even more. No one's done that yet. And I think it's about time.
I wonder why, but no, but it's interesting. Okay, you can sell it as like a limited edition. I mean, this is the only one that you can find the E string popping. It's so much authentic.
Yeah, it's just me and Ray 10.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about all of his E strings popping all the time?
Oh, does it happen often? I wasn't aware. I just know I saw this one.
I mean, I think
famous
it
one.
happened like 3 times. No, 3 times in the last 2 years. Yeah,
It's
crazy.
Never happened to me once. I've never had an E string pop in my life, except
never
gut, obviously. But
yeah.
I don't really understand, and I don't really break hairs on my bow either, so I don't get it. And I play the hell out of it.
Yeah,
but
I break hairs, but very rarely. I mean,
you're Italian.
Yeah. That's why. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know that Paganini. You know, I come from Genova, which is the birthplace of Paganini.
Of course, yes.
You should come and visit.
No,
I would love to show you around and all the Paganini places and Paganini he had like a small blade on the frog, right? And he would cut the string on purpose to show off. Some people say it's a legend, most probably. I don't know how much is real, and I should do research on it. But I know that many teachers and many people in the industry, they talk about this, and it was it's a famous thing. Yes, he had a small blade, and when he wanted, he would break to show off and then play on one.
Okay, well that's a much more elegant solution. That what I was thinking is he like cut it a little bit, and then at some point it would pop. I think that's more of a tightrope dance. But if you just kind of have it, that's easy.
No, yes, because then you can do it whenever you want.
Yeah, just don't pop the wrong string. You're playing Moses. Don't pop the G.
Exactly. Otherwise, everything is going to be much more difficult.
What's really interesting, though, is I'd love to hear his Moses fantasy just with the G, because you don't have any more tension on the sound post anymore. So
there are people doing it. But
it sounds like a quarter-sized violin, probably, because there's no more pressure on the sound post.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting.
But in fact, the intonation is lower. I mean, in theory, it's not in G, but it's not in C. It should be in F, I think.
I mean, but just the string itself.
Yeah. There is no pressure. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible to play it well on that. But
I would love to have seen that. I mean,
Yeah, I think there is a video of violinists doing it. If you
Yeah.
look in on YouTube, your word is YouTube, so you should
Well,
know
there's
this, Daniel.
Roman Kim. I don't think Roman has ripped any strings, but he does
Have you
other
ever
stuff.
have you ever met Roman King? No.
No, no.
I
We have
would,
a
I
lot of
wish.
mutual friends, but
Yes,
never.
I would like to meet him. Listen, but coming back to your life, which is
Sure.
quite inspiring, and I think people would like to know if you actually uh, did your dream came true somehow, or you think
Um,
you were imagining yourself in a different way, but at the end it ended up like that.
I mean,
No.
in a way, obviously, yes, I'm doing what I love, and I don't have to do things I don't want to do, and that's um, something I'm very grateful for. And I mean, it's not easy, but it's certainly preferable. Also, I'm a very, very lazy person. You have to understand.
No, no, this I can't believe because no, you're editing a video, guys. He is lying at the moment because he's editing a video of 3 hours long by himself. So
I'm
definitely
doing it
you're
right
not.
now as we're talking.
No, that would be very no. But of course you
No, like
could do that.
I mean that, and this is maybe something people can think about for themselves if they haven't before. Is like, yeah, I lack discipline in certain
Mm-hmm.
situations, but then if I'm inspired, I have infinite discipline. And if it's something
Mm-hmm.
I love, I have infinite discipline. And for a long
Mm.
time, I felt like this is a real problem. I need to I
Yeah.
need
Mm.
to be a harder worker or something. But also sometimes I'm more productive than everyone I see around me. So it's like this hot cold thing. And I mean, everyone's different, of course, but for me, it was a matter of embracing that kind of laziness. And I'm lazy in the practice room too. If a solution doesn't work in about 2 minutes, I don't pursue it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
for some people, that's like blasphemous because if something doesn't work, you need to do it for 2 weeks, and then there is something to that. Depends on the topic, of course, but I'm all about kind of. I want the solution to be as elegant and simple as possible. So very often there should be something immediate that you can track.
Mm.
And so I don't have the discipline to blindly do something for 2 weeks unless it's making me feel something right away.
But do you think I mean, this is very interesting, and I see myself in this explanation you just gave because it's true that I lacked discipline a lot in my teenage years, especially. But then I realized very soon that there were things that I didn't like.
Mm.
Even repertoire I didn't like.
Mm.
Repertoire that was not interesting to me, and it was obviously something that I had to learn
Yeah.
and I wasn't prone to practice it. But then when I think a lot changed the environment where I was.
Mm.
So this is my case, for example. But in London here, when I moved 5 years ago, I switched completely mentality
Mm.
because people around me were very passionate about playing and being classical musician, and it's quite competitive as well because there are a lot of people. So and then you see that your level is not that bad, so
Mm.
you really want to go to the next level. And so that in a way it's very engaging. The environment I think helps a lot.
Mm.
I don't know, but I was thinking again about digitalization because nowadays we are completely immersed in on the digital world, and
Yeah.
especially young people. And sometimes it's just your personal work, Daniel, is inspiring for young people to practice. Yes. So, and this sometimes doesn't come from the teachers. So I don't know. I think we should talk more about this. What do you think? We
Sure.
should
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, teachers have a hard job, especially if you're in a university, and different universities have different systems, of course, but some just don't give you the freedom to do things the way you want to do them necessarily. You know, there are certain standards and certain juries and even repertoire requirements of some sort, you know. And yeah, I mean, digitalization. I think we're going to go back to more live things. I made a video on YouTube like a few weeks ago called "Will AI Kill Classical Music?"
Oh, really? I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, I think you'll
I will
really
enjoy it. I will enjoy
You'll
it
enjoy
much.
it.
Yes.
So I've been dabbling with AI for about a year and a half,
Yes.
and like building some things. And so this has been kind of a very surprising thing that I was able to make with some tools. And let's just say, like, I think digital everything is going to reach a final destination. We're going to have to kind of embrace live things more.
Interesting. Okay.
It's hard to, like, you have to see the video. Everyone watch the video.
Yes, we'll go. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, I'm a big believer in resources, and without online, like, I would have never been a violinist. Period. The end.
Do you think that today? No, you would be. To be fair, you would be.
I don't think so.
But you would be less known, Daniel. You would be less known. But you were so passionate about violin without even YouTube existing. So you would be a violinist.
Maybe I'd find a way, but
yes,
I wouldn't. I don't know what that way would be, just because it's in that sea of violinists that I can study and analyze and slow down and like really saturate myself with people I admire and figure out how they're doing things, and then see if I can take from them something and make it my own. Like this process, I don't know. I guess you could do it with records too if you want.
Yeah.
But it made it easier. It made it easier for me to just catch up and go really fast.
Do you think so? Should every musician be a content creator?
No.
I mean, nowadays in the conservatory, they are suggesting you.
Anyone suggesting that is just not your friend.
Or honestly, you're saying that. Okay, interesting.
Well, look, it's the same thing with music. Like, you shouldn't go into music, and if you do go, it should be against the wishes of reasonable people. Like, if that doesn't deter you, then yeah, maybe you should be. So there's a self-selection system.
Yeah,
if
that's true.
You know, like, you have to face the reality that it's very impractical and probably won't. You know, you're not going to play concertos, Tchaikovsky concerto with Berlin Philharmonic. So there has to be an incredible love for it. And in terms of content creation, I mean, I started doing this without any thought about money, or like, because I do Patreon now. Like, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing for people doing things online. I had no idea about that. I just wanted to get my ideas out there, and I felt compelled to, and it was easier than like chasing a publisher for a book or something.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but it's a lot of effort. I mean, you were driven by passion, and I'm trying to do it myself. And the reality, I don't have any monetization, anything. It's driven by passion, totally.
Yeah,
and
if you're driven by views and maybe like
you're not gonna
monetization,
make it. You're not gonna
like,
make it.
You don't know how many videos it'll take. It could take 1. It could take 1,000. Like, it's better to not at all. To assume nothing will happen. I think at least that was for me what made a lot of sense, because I see some people doing things for views. Yeah. And every time I make a video, I can think of like 10 ways to make it a little bit cheaper but get more views. Yes. I can't do it. So yes. I'll let Pizza do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. The only videos that I allow myself to make in more as
I love your stuff. You do great stuff. How do you play Bach with half a bow? I can't do it.
No, but it's not that complicated. People all say that it looks difficult, but it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not. I promise you, I didn't even practice.
And this?
No.
This is a 16th size bow, or what is it?
No, it's called small bow. It's called no, it's not small bow. Tiny bow. Tiny bow. I bought it from China. In the US, it's cheaper. I wanted to buy it from the US, but it
Do
was
they
so much tax.
have it in different colors?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I want
Yeah. You should do the same Bach, but with a different color tiny bow.
no, we could do Bach double.
No, genius. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, the
Let's do it.
second
Let's do it.
movement. Second movement,
No,
that'll
that's
be hard.
a bit complicated. In fact, I have some people, they ask me, can you do this? Can you do Schubert Sonata? I said, hey, come on. Schubert Sonata, I can't.
Amazing.
You know, it's impossible. Listen, I know you're very busy and I would love to chat with you another 20 hours if possible. But I think we should close it here. And also people have to follow you. And on Instagram, you should start on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I have an Instagram. It's kind of just things here.
We know Daniel, but you should do better on Instagram.
I have a covert Instagram of where I post like I do a lot of photography, and actually I'm a little more active on that one, but it's not connected to my name, so you'll never find it.
Well, let's keep it secret, that one. Otherwise, people will just jump from it.
Yeah, but
okay,
you're doing great, man. I think
No, I'm not.
You do a lot of entertaining things, but with quality, and I think that's a difficult balance to strike.
Yeah, that was my point. That was my goal, and I'm glad you're saying that, because sometimes I'm really afraid that sometimes I'm doing something that the quality is not good enough. And but my goal from the beginning was like, if I do any video, I have to do it with a good quality. Also playing good, just playing well.
Yeah, I mean, quality could mean different things.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, like just like whether it's good playing or like just something that indicates, some kind of value, and that can come from many different places. So,
thank you so much. You're really touching me. Thank you so much. I didn't expect this. I think I thought I would be completely inexistent in your site, but that's it. I believe I'm a public figure now on Instagram. Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The money is not good, but at least the hours are long.
No, I don't get anything. I didn't even switch on any monetization. I don't like it. I don't want to be involved.
It was a joke. You missed the joke. The money's bad, but at least the hours are long.
Yes, that's true, actually. It's a very sad joke.
That's exactly our life.
Yeah, basically it is, yes. Okay, at the end of every chat, I ask this question.
Sure.
I'm sure, please don't make a joke with this one, though.
Try.
No, I'm kidding. You can be yourself. You can be whatever you want to say.
Okay.
You can say. What would you say to your younger self?
I mean, does it have to be violin related, music related, or not necessarily? I would have liked to be kinder to people more completely than I was. Just,
Okay. Yeah, that's
I
it.
try
I
to
like
be
it.
kind to people, and I think I came to that eventually in life, and there were moments I'm not too proud of. So
yes,
I'd say, hey,
it's lovely.
Wake up.
Fantastic. I love it. Also, everything that you would say to your younger self, if you're a musician, is related to your life as a musician. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Because at the end, you can be kind in the playing, kind with the people that you rehearse with. And that's music. It actually affects the music. And you know that. Yeah. You know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would also say practice more starting up bow. I mean, I would tell myself, start up bow more often.
I love it. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Daniel. I am literally over the moon for this chat. I didn't expect this to come to happen at all, because I admire you so much, and I wish I could meet you very soon in person, play with you, learn from you. Learn from you. I want to learn from you, please. And
you sound great, man.
No. I have to. I'm a big fan. You have no idea how big fan I am of yours. I've been talking about you in Italy everywhere I go. I talk about you to my students. I suggest your videos and other videos, obviously, but your videos sometimes are very important for them, and they are much quicker explanations than mine. And sometimes I feel like why I have to say something, making up. I mean, just look at the video, and it helped me so much. No, honestly. And sometimes I look at them together. No, we look at them together, so I learn as well again. You know, it's true. It's true.
I'm happy if I can be useful. What can I say?
Yes,
I'm
you are very much.
trying very hard to do something useful for the world.
Do you want to answer one question from the chat? There are many. One is, do you believe in law of attraction? Do you think it applies to violin playing? Yes, it does.
So the law of attraction is what? That you like attract positivity by being positive, this kind of thing? Or no?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
what
exactly.
yeah?
Yes, in physics, it's positive, negative, negative. You know?
I mean, either the answer is yes, or the answer is
no. Very good.
Or the answer, well, no, the answer is yes, or it's a different kind of yes, which is like
maybe
humans are very prone to psychosis. So yeah, you can start on the negative side of things. You can start convincing yourself of something that might not reflect reality entirely, and so that you might have a rude awakening.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I understand.
this is one of the negative, one of the downsides of like quote unquote positive thinking is that it could cloud reality. But in principle, I mean, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I think that was a good question. Yes, much better than mine at the end.
I have very positive thinking about my intonation, and that helps me sleep at night.
To me, no, it doesn't work, Daniel. It doesn't
You
work.
have to try harder. It didn't work for you one day. It just started working.
I see. I didn't try hard to think about good intonation. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Daniel, and good luck with every project. The new video coming up. I'm really looking forward to watch it, and I'm gonna watch the one on AI because I didn't.
It's really
yet.
Messed up. It'll mess with you. It'll mess with you.
No. I'm.
You're
I don't know.
unmessable. Okay, good.
I'm unmessable. Very good.
All right.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
I hope to see you sometime. I don't know, but
we'll make it happen.
Yes,
all right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye. What an incredible guest, Daniel. I'm still very excited and I can't believe this happened. Daniel is a fantastic, extraordinary violinist. As you can see, he has a very good sense of humor, which I believe is a characteristic of good violinists and in general musicians. They have a good sense of humor, and people that they don't take too much seriously things. They normally they are very serious. So I'm really glad he could have a chat with us today. Do please follow him on Instagram, and he is not very active at the moment, but he will be. He promised us. And on YouTube, obviously, he has an incredible channel where he posts quite regularly videos of his teaching and pedagogue, all of his methods of looking at the violin playing, which I believe they are very, very inspiring and helpful. So do please follow me if you want to see many more of these episodes of the podcast and the Musicians Café. Thank you so much for following. See you next Sunday.